Welcome to the Daily Jing for Friday, October 5th. I have reviewed all of your second papers, the reflection imitation paper, and there are some problems. The first is that the assignment is very simple and most of you have made it complicated. It's an imitation. And as an imitation, you must have to understand what you are imitating, and with that understanding under your belt, do what the model does. Green does three simple things. First, he establishes a predisposition to be a writer. He does this mostly off camera, so to speak, because the excerpt is done in the context of an interview in a literary magazine, the Paris Review. The Paris Review interviews writers about their craft. This excerpt where Green talks about his childhood is taken from such an interview. He doesn't have to set up this predisposition to be a writer because all the people reading the interview know who he is. You, on the other hand, have to set up your predisposition. That's why the paper is longer than the excerpt. Second, he sets up a piece of previous knowledge, as I have come to characterize it, in the form of the description of the Bowen book. He lavishes praise on the book, the characters, the plots, the topics. He loves Bowen, but the implication is that Bowen and how she writes is a mystery, a problem. What is particularly mysterious is how she writes about bad people. Again, by implication, you sense that Green wants to know her secret. Third, he presents an experience, Carter on the Stairs, where his predisposition to be a writer and the previous knowledge, Bowen, come together suddenly and irrevocably to give him and us the experience of how he finally figured out how Bowen did it. She did it by recognizing that her day-to-day life could be the seeds for the characters she writes about. The Carter experience is like a chemical experience, a chemical reaction. One part predisposition, one part Bowen, and one part Carter. And kablooey, Green gets it. Now, you might say, wow, Green was pretty lucky to have such an experience and to see the Bowen book just like he did, etc., etc. No, he wasn't lucky. He was a writer. What I'm saying is that you can configure your paper in the same way Green does, whether what happened to you actually happened in the same way it did for him or not. In other words, you have the right to fudge reality. Most of you have the experience where you felt the change, where you finally learned how X was done, but you don't have the previous experience, or if you do have it, it's buried somewhere in the paper. Make the previous experience as vivid in its problematics as you can. What I mean is that whether you had a vivid scene of previous knowledge or not, you have to write one into your paper, or you will not have written an imitation of Green. And Green, believe it or not, did not, I am almost positive, have the two experiences, Bowen and Carter, exactly in the order he describes. He put them in this order. He's a writer. He can do the sort of things necessary to make what he writes dramatic and interesting in order to make a point. Manipulate your material to produce an effect. That's the lesson of this paper. I do not want you to write it just as it happened. That's what, quote, I did on my summer vacation paper version of Green is. That's not what we're after here. We are after an effect, an experience, something that your reader can live with you and feel. Your reader can't understand deep down what it means to do something if you say something like, suddenly I understood, or I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So I'm asking you to be a writer here. I'm asking you to take Green's pattern of predisposition, previous knowledge, and experience and give it to us as an experience and make it live on the page. Okay? The question of the day, what should you do over the break? Finish the peer reviews and relax and have some fun. Okay? Thanks. Bye.